Chief Jansen, would you please lead us in the pledge? And please remain standing after the pledge.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, we thank you for the many blessings we receive daily, especially those we so often seem to take for granted. Thank you for the opportunity to serve our city and our community, guide our decisions for the benefit of the community overall. I ask that you continue overwatch of our military personnel serving both at home and in foreign countries. I also ask that you continue to protect our police, fire, and emergency personnel. Keep them safe. I ask for your warm and loving hands to be placed upon the families who have given so much for this country. Especially ask for your blessings of the Gold Star families. It is through your Son's name that I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Landwehr. Thank you, Chief Jansen. I'm Paul Markgraf, the mayor of Lakeside Park. To my left is our city clerk treasurer, Teresa Bruck. To my right is our city attorney, Mr. Greg Voss. Mrs. Bruck, would you please read roll?
Yes. Tom Bernheimer.
Here.
Dennis Landwehr.
Here.
Cassie Schauble. Marion Thaman.
Here.
Brian Waite.
Here.
Dave Wolfer.
Okay, we do have 4 of our 6 members, so we do have a quorum to conduct business. First item to be considered is the adoption of the agenda. Has everyone received a copy? I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Thank you, Mrs. Thaman. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion or amendment or changes? Hearing none, all in favor of adopting the agenda as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It is adopted with unanimous consent. Next is the adoption of the minutes of our special meeting held on August 18th, 2025. A copy was sent out in the packets. I will entertain a motion to adopt the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Waite. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Bernheimer. Are there any changes or amendments that anyone has noticed that need to be considered? Hearing none, and there is no further discussion then. All in favor of adopting the minutes as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Once again, it is a unanimous 4-0 vote. The minutes are adopted. Next item on the agenda are citizens addressing council. Is there anyone who would like to address council tonight? Okay, if you would, please make sure you sign in, and we'll be happy to hear from you.
Good evening, Council. My name is Paul Darple, 25 Town Center Boulevard, Crestview Hills, Kentucky. I'm here with Paul Rizzo of 209 Applewood in Lakeside Park. We're coming as a follow-up. You all had discussion a couple of meetings ago. I had sent a letter several months ago requesting a potential text amendment for your fencing regulations for a fence that Mr. Rizzo had constructed on his property. They received a citation on. We've been going back and forth. We most recently have been to the Joint Code Enforcement, and I wanted to follow back up because the last time when I sent the letter, didn't realize what I had said in there is we intend to be at the next meeting. I thought we would go through the language back and forth. I went in suddenly your meeting, I heard, oh, wait a minute, they had the meeting and discussed it, and I thought, so that was on me. Because quite frankly, I thought we would probably try to come up with some common language, see if there was something we could do. So I apologize to you that we weren't here for that, but I hope you won't punish, Mr. Rizzo for that. What we've done is just to kind of go back over the situation, Mr. Rizzo had created a pool in his backyard, created the fence. There was questions about when the type fence that was supposed to be put up, the privacy fence got put up. We were cited, we came in and we couldn't get approval of it. So we came and we said, well, we want to try to get the text amendment. We've tried to actually to see if we can find any kind of other variation of the fence that would allow them to have more of a privacy. The issue really becomes, and what we've kind of settled on is, we're hoping that you all will at least grant us the ability for somebody on your council to come in and at least work with us on potentially on some language that may allow this. This is a very unique situation. Mr. Rizzo is within the residential compact subdivision district, which is also the church next door, is an institutional use that's permitted within that district. They then put a recreational area for their kids right behind Mr. Rizzo's property, behind where his pool is. So when he put the pool in, he's got a privacy fence there now. They play kickball there, they play this, originally it had space in it. Kids would be just looking through the fence that was originally there because, quite frankly, I think Mr. Rizzo, you're okay with me saying, but he's an amputee. And as, it's just, kids are kids, and it was odd to them, they couldn't see, so it was more of a distraction. He had a very hard time enjoying his backyard because he's got kids staring through a fence because there is institutional use with kids playing right outside his fence. So we're hoping we could come up, because it is a unique situation. Y'all don't have that many institutional uses within a residential zone. We're hoping we can have the opportunity to sit down with the mayor or anyone on council or something and at least come up with some language or work with PDS to come up with some language. We just want to know if you'll consider it. If you absolutely are like, no, we're not considering any language, this is it, our fence regulations are it and we're done, that's what we have to live with. But the reality is with this, it's such a unique situation. It's a pool in a residential zone next to the industrial or institutional. The kids' play area just happens to be right behind his house as well. The safety really when you all discussed it in your meeting, when you all discussed it in your meeting, you said part of the rationale for privacy fences is if police or there was someone eluding police, you're worried about the safety that they might not be able to see him behind a privacy fence. We understand that if that's an issue, one is if we have to open up both sides, all a police officer would have to do is look around the side. We would try to alleviate that. But you have to balance it, you have to balance it against kind of the safety of the attractive nuisance of a pool to a bunch of kids that are being brought to that area to play that are looking through the fence. If we can balance that safety against, I don't think you've had a lot of police chases on foot in Lakeside Park compared to the number of kids in a church that are going to be playing kickball right outside. They might find that pool attractive and potentially fall in. What's the greater risk? And we're hoping you can balance that. We're hoping we can take all this. In addition, when he did start to put up the privacy fence across the back, his neighbors actually said, hey, we would like to have a privacy fence between us. If you do that, that's great, do this. And he put it up with their blessing and, request the way he requested. So we actually have kind of the neighbor support. They'd love to keep it. Now, we don't know if we'd love to keep one side in the back and have that make sense to you all. But the reality is that we understand, and if it has to be just the back, we would live with that. But all we're asking tonight, we're not putting up a bunch of evidence, we're not putting up everything. Will you all consider at least a text amendment if we can make this so that, and I understand, your concern would be, well, if he gets one, everybody's going to want one. But I don't think you're going to have that many residential pools against an institutional use, and especially if you consider kids' recreation right outside of it. And if we can come up with the proper language, is it something we can present to you all? We can't take a text amendment and have it adopted by you all. You all have to come up with it. So that's why, I'm sorry, I'm getting over a cold. That's why we're here today. We just want your blessing to at least try to come up with some language. If we can't come up with it that you think, hey, that would open the door up too much, we don't want that, then, we would live with it. We just really, it's just a shame. He's got a big, beautiful backyard, a big pool, and he can't enjoy it because he's got kids staring at him, and we just think that the rationale for what we're asking for, the safety is greater to protect the kids than, a chase, from a police officer. And so we're asking if you all would at least give us time to try over the next month to come up with language, present it to you, and see if you all adopt it. I think if I'm explaining that well, because you all have to put in for a text amendment.
I understand, Mr. Darple, and I will be happy to talk further with you and present it to the council. We can put it on the next agenda. Main question that I had is, why was this not brought up with the initial application that was granted and the instructions on what kind of offense was permitted that was clearly made, and why the fence as approved was not put up?
If I can, introduce yourself for the record.
Yes.
I'm Paul Rizzo, 209 Applewood Drive. I did make it 50% open all the way around. And then when I was swimming, the children were playing, they kind of were watching me. I felt uncomfortable. And at that point, I reached out to my neighbors, explained what was going on, and I asked permission, can I put a privacy fence up? And they all agreed. So it's just like this. All three neighbors who connect my property, my house is here, agreed that I could put a privacy fence up. I didn't realize at the time I did it, when I closed it up from 50% to full privacy, I needed a permit or do anything. I thought if all the neighbors agreed, it wouldn't be a problem. So that's how it happened.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Rizzo, I have seen pictures of your pool, and what you have done is a first-class job. It is very nice. I know you sent those to me long ago, and it is very attractive, and hopefully will serve you well for many years to come. But again, it is a matter for council. We are missing 2 council members tonight. We'll take a look at the language, and we will put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
That's all we're asking.
I understand.
Appreciate that. Yeah. And then there also, we'll probably with that, you all adopted the Z21 regulations. We received, there's an addition, he has included in there a bin on the side of his house, but he's permanently attached it to his house. In the Z21 that you all adopted, you don't define a shed, and they've cited us under auxiliary building, and so we probably want to take a look at that too, and that's more for everybody in your whole entire city. I know
That has been a prohibition in the city of Lakeside
Right.
Park as long as anyone can remember.
Yeah.
And that is not, that was brought up with the addition of considering the Z21. And the council did not wish to permit any kind of storage sheds
Yeah.
at that time. And the interpretation does not differentiate between a shed that is bolted onto the side of a house because it is not integral to the house.
Okay. One of those things, we have a lot of folks, a lot of cities coming back, with updates and definitions, and I didn't know if that's something we consider at the same time, just
Okay.
as we're doing it, because it came up with us. So.
Well, thank you, Mr.
Appreciate
Darple. We
the time.
will, and we will have the issues on the next agenda.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have a question, Mayor, if it
Yes.
would be appropriate at this time. or-
Sure.
So, yeah, it is on the topic. So, the council did just go through the review of the Z21, and we had the committee review it with citizens that were on that committee. So all of that just happened within the last 18 months. 5 of the current 6 members of council were on council at the time that that was adopted. So I guess I'm just questioning the review of it again and where that would go versus, I hear the request for a text amendment versus don't we have the vehicle of a Board of Adjustment variance would that not be appropriate in a case like this, where the ordinance is the ordinance, someone is requesting a special case, so wouldn't they request a variance and it go through that process versus us changing it for the entire city for one specific circumstance?
The Board of Adjustment cannot override zoning requirements. So if the zoning requirement says you can't have it, you can't have it. If, for example, it said you could have 100 square foot one and somebody wanted to come in with 150, that's kind of would be where it is. But they can't, if a zoning
Okay,
prohibits, the
okay.
Board of Adjustment's hands are
Wouldn't
tied.
grant the variance, okay. So it's not a situation of a variance, okay.
Yes.
All right, very good.
Thank you. Anything further? Thank you, Mr. Darkle. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you. I do
Rizzo.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other citizens who would like to address council? Please. Okay. Go ahead and give us your name and address, please. and-
My name is William Groth. I live at 67 Locust Avenue. And I would bring to your attention here that as of last year, as of July 2nd, my house was flooded from a water main break from the Northern Kentucky Water District. At this point, it's been 14, 15 months and nothing's really been resolved yet regarding that. They initially denied responsibility. I brought an outside counsel and they took responsibility for when we're moving forward. Now they ask for some additional estimates and so forth, and they are not even relatively close. I called an outside adjuster, independent. It was $264,000 just for the house alone. Their offer initially was $64,200. Then I sent them a copy of the letter that I had up to $90,000. And at that point, I've chosen to file a suit against the water district. I want to bring to your attention here that as a citizen of Lakeside Park, I feel I'm fighting a never-winning battle. I mean, I've done everything that I can think of that they've asked me to do, and promptly getting all this stuff turned in a very timely manner, but they're not showing me the same respect and replying back. Now, I was going to give that any suggestions at all so that I could go about doing this matter more organized and more formal to get the situation resolved. But my main issue this is, I just want to bring it to your attention that this is happening.
Well, thank you. I know that we talked about it, and I did give you one suggestion, but the city is also in a situation, we cannot expend funds for private purposes. That includes legal and offering any kind of assistance that we have. So as much as I'm speaking personally, I do empathize with you in your situation. I don't know how much the city can do in your situation, particularly since there is a lawsuit pending and you have counsel. Now, if anyone has any ideas, or Mr. Voss, if there's anything that you can think of, just please.
The Water District is an independent agency. We have no authority over them. And so you're absolutely correct. We can't expend city dollars. You've got counsel. I knew your prior counsel,
Yeah.
very respect. I don't know the current, but I'm sure he's very competent. And that's where the resolution will come, is the court system. You know, it sounds to me like the law's on your side, but I don't know enough about it. But
I mean, most definitely.
you're pursuing it the proper avenue.
But my attitude is to bring to your attention this is happening in the community here with me.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any comments, or do you have anything further you'd like to bring to our attention?
I just want you to know that the water is kind of representing you as us as a community here. And this is how we're treating the citizens for a narrative they have and upon that it's come about. So, my mind was just bring to your, I filed some information, just bring to your attention this is happening.
Well, thank you. We do appreciate it. We'd like to know what is going on in our community. But unfortunately, as I know I've told you before, I believe our hands are tied.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I mean, maybe a letter perhaps, or some kind of support, or something like that would be appreciated if that's possible.
Okay.
I appreciate it very much. Thank
We'll
you.
consider. Thank you.
Thank you for coming out.
Any other residents wishing to address council? Thank you. We will close that portion of the agenda. Next up is the mayor's report. I do have several items that I'd like to bring up. First, we do have a new addition out in our parking lot. We have reserved parking space in the front of our building for veterans. And that had been put to use today. I'm very happy to be able to have you park there, Mr. Landwehr.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to thank Fort Wright Mayor Dave Hatter for bringing this to the attention of the mayors and for actually helping us procure the sign. So on your way out, if you would take a look at it, I believe it's a great addition. Tonight I'll be asking council to vote on two items. The first is our tax rate for the 2025 taxes. After we reduced property taxes by 6% last year, we passed a budget this year by a 5-to-1 vote based on keeping the rate at the same rate. I am asking council to vote tonight to keep our rate at the same. The Northern Kentucky Ad District calculates what they believe should be a compensating rate that should be adopted by the cities. That is designed for the cost of living and the cost of operating a city. Their suggestion was for us to raise the taxes 7.1% from 2.40 per $100 value, 0.257. Again, I'm asking council to ignore that recommendation and keep our taxes where we have them. The second is we will be considering a bid that was given to us for crack sealing for our city streets. The crack sealing is done every year, and it is designed as a preventive maintenance for our streets to keep water from infiltrating into the subbase. That does help with keeping our roads in good condition. Also like to report that Mrs. Bruck has begun her training for her Master Kentucky Municipal Clerk certification. And with that training, I do apologize if the office hours last week were inconvenient for some of our residents. We still do have invoices for the sidewalk remediation that are due and owing. They were supposed to be paid by August 31st. Please remit your payments without delay. Because of extra cost in sending out new invoices and all, we will have to implement finances charges. The city has already paid the contractors for their work. So if you have not gotten that invoice or the second invoice that was sent out last week, please call us up here at the city and make your arrangements. Lastly, or second last, the mayor's group was held at the Ludlow Senior Center on August 13th. The Northern Kentucky Ad District, Area Development District, had an opening on their board of directors for representing small cities in this jurisdiction for those of cities of less than 8,000 residents. Crestview Hills Mayor Paul Meyer offered to fill that position and was unanimously elected. Mayor Dan Bell of Taylor Mill, who's an active member of the KLC, Kentucky League of Cities, made the mayors aware of at least one bill that is going to be introduced for the upcoming legislative session that takes away a city's right to decide local issues and to ban their consideration of that issue on a statewide basis. What might be good for a rural community is not necessarily good for a bedroom or an inner city community. And I just bring that to everyone's attention because that type of an issue was considered and passed last year regarding manufactured housing in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. So I just want everyone to be aware of it. Also, the mayor's discussed local transportation issues, and we did receive some guidance on how to get updated information on projects that are upcoming. You will notice on our website that we do have links to the upcoming projects. One of those upcoming projects will be a thin layer of blacktop on Dixie Highway between Marion Drive at Lakeside Park and Orphanage in Fort Mitchell. That work is going to be done at night. They've already done the preliminary work. I guess we just have to wait for the signage and the work to actually start occurring. And lastly, the Lakeside Park Crestview Hills Police Authority is offering RAD classes. You heard last month that those are rape, aggression, defense classes for women. And if our women are residents are interested in learning self-defense, please contact Lakeside Park Crestview Hills Police Authority through their website, through their phone number, or through our website. The information is available. So, other than that, I'm sorry to take up so much time, but that is the mayor's report for tonight. Next, city attorney's report.
Ordinance number 08-2025, an ordinance of the City of Lakeside Park in Kenton County, Kentucky, providing for the assessment of all real estate and personal property within the corporate limits of the City of Lakeside Park that are subject to taxation for city purposes by the use of the annual county assessment thereof by the property valuation administrator of Kenton County, and levying an ad valorem tax thereon for the city purposes during the fiscal year which begins July 1st, 2025 at the rate of $0.240 per each 100 so assessed of real property, and at the rate of $1.481 for each 100 so assessed of personal property, and at the rate of 27.69 cents per $100 so assessed of motor vehicle and watercraft property, providing for the payment and collection of such taxes and the penalties and interest thereon, and describing the purposes for which such taxes so collected shall be appropriated. Now therefore be it ordained by the City of Lakeside Park, Kentucky as follows, that the City of Lakeside Park will use the PVA of Kenton County's assessment for the calendar year, or the fiscal year which begins July 1st, 2025. Section 2 is stated above. The taxation rate for real property will be $0.240 for each $100 of value, $1.481 for each $100 of personal property, and a rate of 27.69 cents per hundred of value for motor vehicle and watercraft property thereof assessed pursuant to the terms thereof. Section 3, the taxes are due and payable on the 31st day of December 2025 in the office of the city clerk, and shall be delinquent after that date, and thereafter there will be added a penalty of 10% plus interest thereon at the rate of 12% per annum from the first day of January 2026 until paid, plus the cost of collection, including court costs and attorney fees. The tax bills generated by the City of Lakeside Park shall include 1, the taxes levied pursuant to this ordinance, and 2, the current waste, garbage, and tax or trash collection charges levied as a supplemental tax pursuant to KRS 82.095. City property taxes may be paid at the Lakeside Park City Building or mailed to the city at 9 Buttermilk Pike, Lakeside Park, Kentucky 41017. If paid by mail and you wish to have a receipt, enclose a self-addressed stamped envelope. Further, the mail must be postmarked on or before December 31st, 2025 to avoid delinquent penalties and interest. Section 4, in order to secure the payment of the ad valorem taxes hereby levied and assessed, and all penalties, interest, fees, commission charges, and other expenses, including court costs and attorney fees incurred by reason of any delinquency in the payment thereon, the City of Lakeside Park has a lien, therefore, upon the property upon which such taxes are hereby levied and assessed. Such a lien has priority over all other obligations or liabilities for which the property is liable except state and county taxes, which have equal priority. Section 5, the taxes levied and collected pursuant to the terms hereof shall be deposited in the general fund of the city. The invalidity of any provision of this ordinance shall not affect the validity of any other provision. All ordinance or parts of ordinances in conflict are hereby repealed. The ordinance shall be in full force and effect upon its passage, approval, and publication according to law, and this is the second reading.
Thank you, Mr. Voss. I will entertain a motion to adopt ordinance 08-2025.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make the motion to accept.
Thank you, Mr.
Ordinance
Landwehr.
8 as proposed.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Thaman. Is there any discussion?
I have
Ye-
one question.
Yes,
Mayor.
ma'am.
Our garbage rate's the same, because we contract with the, Best Way at this point is it every 2 year? Is that how often we do that?
The garbage, as you said, has nothing to do with this, but the garbage is, I believe, up for renewal in 2 years. We
Okay.
did bid that out with a request for proposals. We did that in conjunction with the city of Fort Mitchell, and I believe
Okay.
we got a better rate because the two of the cities are contiguous and we work together.
Okay. I thought that's how we had part of the trash collection and the taxes on some, excuse me, I thought that was affected the taxes, but I guess it doesn't.
Well, the way it affects the taxes was a decision within the budget that the city would pay for half of a person's garbage assessment.
Okay, and I remember, I'm sorry, I remember that correctly now. Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any further discussion? Hearing none, since this is a money matter, Mrs. Brock, would you please read a roll call vote?
Tom Bernheimer,
Definitely yes.
Dennis Landwehr,
Yes, please.
Cassie Shabel is absent, Marianne Thaman,
Aye or yes?
Brian Waite,
Aye.
and Dave Wolfer is absent.
Okay, the vote is 4-0, 4 in favor, and no votes against. Ordinance 08-2025 is hereby adopted. Next item is a resolution.
Resolution number 8, 2025, a resolution of the City of Lakeside Park, Kentucky, adopting the 2025 Joint and Crack Seal Program, whereas the city has received bids for its annual crack sealing project, whereas Regular Blacktop, Inc. submitted the lowest bid of $31,055, whereas the Lake Park City engineers recommended the approval of the bid, now therefore be it resolved by the City of Lakeside Park, Kentucky, that the City of Lakeside Park awards the 2025 crack seal project to Regular Blacktop for the sum of $31,055.
Thank you. We only require one reading on this. I already had my comments, and I believe we'll probably get a little bit more information in the Public Works report. But I'll entertain a motion to adopt Resolution 08-2025.
I'll make the motion to adopt Resolution 08-2025.
Thank you, Ms. Thaman. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Bernheimer. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Again, this is a money matter. Roll call vote, please.
Tom Bernheimer,
Yes.
Dennis Landwehr,
Yes.
Cassie Shabel is absent, Marianne Thaman,
Aye.
Brian Waite.
Aye.
Mr. Wolfer is absent. As I count, again, it is a unanimous vote, 4 votes in favor and none against. The resolution is adopted. So,
Unless anyone has questions of me on any other topic, that's my report.
thank you, Mr. Voss. The silence is deafening. Next up, City Clerk Treasurer's report.
I don't have anything to report.
That's good. Committee, Fire and EMS. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. Overall, August was
pretty busy month for Lakeside Park for the fire department, especially always as usual on the EMS side. We're a total of 24 calls to the city. One of those was a vehicle fire, started the engine compartment over on Marble Cliff down in the apartments, Lakeside Landing. And the rest of them were, as I always refer to as our bread and butter EMS calls, house calls and things like that. Some of the significant events during the month, we assisted Edgewood, Erlanger, and Crescent Springs, who all had the misfortune of having some structure fires throughout the month, and it kind of continued into September already for a couple of those departments. Happy to say that, as I think you guys know, we started this high school program with Beechwood and Covington Catholic several years ago. Seniors that might be interested in the fire service come up to the station a couple hours every school day from 1 to 3, and they get some structured training, they get homework from us, the whole 9 yards, and they can go on and apply for an internship, which we've had a lot of success with that. At the time that they turn 18, they've got a lot of their required hours of training already under their belts, and they can come on as a volunteer, they can come on as a paid or a part-time paid person, and then ultimately work their way up to, once they become a paramedic, they'll go through EMT school first, then they go to paramedic school, which is about 1.5 years. But happy to say that 2 of them that started with us as high school interns were hired within the past couple of weeks as firefighter medics with us. One of the other that started with us remained as a volunteer with us, or is remaining as a volunteer with us, but he was picked up by the Covington Fire Department. So it's a good program. It keeps kids out of trouble, gives them something to do, and at the same time, there's some light at the end of the tunnel for them. So we're happy to do that program, and to have the city council and mayor in Lakeside, or in Lakeside, Crescent Hills, and Fort Mitchell, I think we're all happy to do that for these young men and women. So we've got several females on the department now. When I started there 54 years ago, that was, you never thought that there'd be a lady wanting to join the fire department. And now it's second nature. So God love them. In addition to that, we've had 3 public ed events throughout the month, and installed 2 more baby car seats. Any questions?
What's the split these days on volunteer versus pay? Like for the fire personnel is still mostly volunteer, correct?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, yes and no. We have about 25 volunteers.
Okay.
We have 18 full-time paid firefighters, medics, and then we have about 22 or 23 part-time. Our part-time firefighter medics or EMTs are also full-time at another department in Northern Kentucky.
Okay.
Be it Independence, be it Newport, be it Covington, wherever, Erlanger. So most of the departments we draw from the same pool, and it's who's going to pick them up first. So that's why we're so proud of the fact that 2 of the 3 that we groomed decided to stay with Fort Mitchell on the offer that was made to them.
Good.
Yeah.
So we continue that.
That's great. One of the chief, whether you'd like Chief Degenhardt's assistance, would you talk a little bit about the Heroes Night that's coming up?
Yeah. October the 7th, hopefully, weather permitting. We've had some soggy Heroes Nights. I mean, inches of rain. One time we actually had to cancel it. But what it is our department, our police and fire, our police and fire, or I'm sorry, police department here, Edgewood, Crescent Springs, the Kenton County Jail. They bring their little jail cell out and lock kids up and all that kind of stuff. There are some of these inflatable rides over there, bouncy house, things like that. We have the SWAT team there, North Kentucky SWAT team. It's just to show off the emergency services available in our region. And we started doing this at Fort Mitchell several years ago now. So Tuesday night, October 7th, starts about 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and it's generally over by 8 or 8:30. After all, it is a school night. So we take that into consideration. But they'll have some food trucks over there and things like that. We just hope and pray for good weather.
And that will be held at the Diocesan Children's, Catholic Children's Home.
Yep.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that you gave a shout out for that great event.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments or questions? Thank you, Chief.
All right.
Next up, Police Authority. Is there anything? I know we had
Yeah, we
meeting
had-
before, or
yeah.
prior meeting.
Yeah, double report last time. We haven't met since the last meeting. The next meeting will be next Monday evening, so no report this month.
Thank you. Chief, was there anything that you needed to add?
No, sir. Okay.
Thank you. Next up, Planning and Development Services.
No report. The council did not meet.
Thank you. We'll keep you on the hot seat. Finance.
Finance, I reviewed all of the bank reconciliations and the bank statements, and under our internal control guidelines, I reviewed the credit card statements and receipts, everything tied out perfectly, so we're in good shape, thanks to Mrs. Bruck for making it easy for me.
Thank you. I believe everyone did eventually get a copy of the financial reports. Did anybody have any questions? Okay. Hearing none, moving on to Municipal Government League.
Mr. Mayor, the Municipal Government League has had a request from the Vice Mayor of the City of Woodlawn, Kentucky, one of our northern Kentucky communities, for a representative to a naturalization ceremony over at Newport Central Catholic later in the month, with Judge Bunning as officiating, and I told them that I would be there as a representative of the league and of our city. And we do have our next meeting coming up the end of this month, the 30th, and I have a report next month on that.
Okay.
That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Landwehr. Recreation, Mrs. Thaman.
Thank you. Not a whole lot here, but repeat a few things. First of all, we're going to have a committee meeting on Thursday, September the 18th at 9 a.m. here in the city building for a committee for Light Up Lakeside to get things going. That's scheduled for December the 14th. On Saturday, September the 20th, there's going to be a citywide yard sale. If you want to get your location on a map, contact the office to register for that, and we'll get you on the map. On the next Saturday, or Friday and Saturday, the 26th and 27th, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Kenton County is having a Kenton County cleanup where you can dispose of certain items, but check our website for what they'll accept and what they won't accept before you make a trip out there. And then on Wednesday, October the 1st, there's going to be a senior luncheon at Barleycorns. And then, of course, what Chief Janzi was talking about up Heroes Night on October the 7th. And that is all I have for right now.
Thank you. Any questions?
I have a separate question, Mayor.
Yes.
I won't take it personally, but we skipped Public Works.
Well, then I believe that we ought to go right into
Yeah,
Public
there are a
Works.
couple
I thought that was my
With
fault.
my apologies.
No problem. There are just a couple things to update on. On the sidewalk assessment project, there's really no change, although as the mayor mentioned, there are some invoices outstanding, so we're waiting on those payments. The Dixie Highway Sidewalk Crestview Hills project, no specific changes, although there was approval by the state, and this is expected to start in the spring. As a reminder, the City of Lakeside Park has committed $10,000 for their part of this project. The Belmont Avenue resurfacing, there will be an application for funding sent in by the 1st of October, and hopefully we'll see if we can get some help with the payments on those. The Marlowe Way and Shaker Road reconstruction has been completed. There's a small holdback of $2,500 because there's some yard restoration to be done in the spring. That's a little bit of an insurance policy. The 5-year street program is underway. The VDT proposal for InfraHub was processed. We're waiting the completion of that part of the project. And Public Works was given a really neat demonstration on how this works. It was impressive. All you need to do is go in and click on the map of the streets. Once this information has been input into it, you can see every street, every sidewalk, every adjacent street, and all the areas around it. And it saves a lot of time, keeps Steve Greer from having to run all around the city to look and see the status of particular areas in the city. So I think that is $800 very well spent. The joint and crack seal program for this year, as the mayor mentioned, we put it out for bids. We had a bid for Regler for $31,044.19. We just approved that this evening. That work will begin as soon as, looks like be completed by November 30th to begin the middle of this month. A couple other items. Precise Landscaping bid was accepted for the brush removal over on West Lakeside, where it comes off Dixie Highway and into the city where all those trees are that keeps you from being able to see around the corner. Their bid covers not only the removal of the brush, but replacement of the landscaping with more appropriate vegetation so it won't grow up and start the same problem over again. And they also include aftercare for their plantings. The benches, 2 benches along Dixie Highway, one at Lakeside Presbyterian and one by the city building, will be installed sometime within the next 12 weeks, weather permitting. That project may be moved into spring if we have unfortunate consequences due to weather. I mentioned last month that the curb on Locust Avenue, where it enters into the city itself off Dixie Highway, was going to be painted yellow. That's been put on hold because the problem seems to have gone away since the remodeling of the one house on that corner has been completed, so the traffic has improved dramatically. And the mayor also mentioned the blacktop from on Dixie Highway from Marion to Orphanage will be ongoing soon, and it'll replicate what you see on the rest of Dixie Highway up through Crestview Hills, I'm sorry. The radar sign was moved to Marion, and we have an eyewitness report from a prominent council member named Dennis Landwehr, who observed the changes, and he said they were dramatic.
Yes, sir.
Shortly after that went into position. And because of that, because it has an impact on the school kids, we're going to leave it there till the end of next month before we decide to move it somewhere else. But that's good news. It shows that it's money well invested and that people are paying attention to it. And that is my report. Mary, you may have something else. Dennis, you have anything else?
It sounds like I missed a good meeting. But
They're all
no,
good
thank you very
meetings.
much. Yeah.
Thank you,
It's
Mr.
true.
Bernheimer, and again, I apologize for
That's all right.
for skipping you
I'll get
over
over it,
at the
I promise.
beginning. Thank you. Next, is there any old business to consider? Hearing none, are there any comments from council? Hearing none, I believe there is one last motion to be made, and I will entertain anyone who would like to move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Landwehr. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Waite. And I don't hear any discussion. So all in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.